Welcome to ASL 101, Episode 1. If you are just starting to learn sign language, this is the perfect place for you. In this episode, we will start with common phrases and the alphabet. Learning sign language is an incredible way to connect with others and open yourself up to a new way of looking at the world. I'll be sharing these using ASL grammatical sentences. I want to note that there will not only be facial expressions, but something known as mouth morphemes, a part of the language created by the deaf community. These change the meaning of the signed words and the subtlety, severity, and in between. Let's begin with some common phrases and the difference between formal and informal greetings. Formal signing for hello. How are you? Fine. Good. All right. Not feel good. Who are you? Your name what? Me learning ASL. Can I help you? Yes. No. Maybe. I can. I can't. I understand. I don't understand. Have a great day. Bye. Now we'll do informal words. Hi. Hey. What's up? What's happening? Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Long time not see. Feel better? Are you okay? What's the matter? Congratulations. I'm so sorry, or condolences. Glad you're back. Happy to see you. See you later. Now with responses, you can say yes or yeah. It would be the same sign. Yeah. Yes. Nah versus no. Nothing. Not much. For sure. Not sure. Now that we've learned a few basic signs, I hope you can see that there's variations between formal and informal. Next, I'd like you to join me in learning the alphabet. Ready? Let's go ahead and do this together. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Let's review this one more time, but I'll go much slower and give you some pointers on how to do it properly. Let's do A one more time. Ensure that your thumb is to the side. There's a little bit of accents or style of making the A. Sometimes people push the thumb out way to the side, or some of them kind of keep it close to the index finger. Oftentimes people confuse A using S. So for S, make sure that your thumb is sitting over your middle finger and ring finger area. Moving on to B, it's all four, and you're going to smush all the fingers together. Moving on to C, that's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure all the fingers are pushed together. Sometimes the pinky can be a little bit, less round, and then the thumb sometimes is off to the side. Once you become more familiar with the alphabet, you start to change the shape of each of these letters, combining words. Now moving on to D. D is the one going up and the rest of the fingers are going down into the thumb. Most of the time, people confuse the letter D and F. So just want to make sure that we have the D correctly spelled and then the right hand shape. Now with E, you can have it squeezed in pretty tight, or you can kind of loosen it up as long as they're smushed down and not too much like a C. Now, of course, everyone's hand shape is different, and sometimes as you get older, your fingers don't quite bend the right way, or maybe, there's some different abilities with movement. So if it's a little off, it's not, super tight, that's fine. When you create the E, make sure that you don't strain your wrist too hard. Moving on to F, there's a couple variations. You can do F with all the three fingers smushed together with the index on top of the thumb. Or you can have the F kind of more of like a 9 looking shape. So you can do it this way as well. So again, D versus F. Moving on to G. So G, you're going to show a little bit of the back of your hand towards the viewer. Your thumb is like this. And just FYI, when we get a little more advanced, the G is going to change shape as well. A lot of the deaf like to make the G more like a L shape, but to the side. So just FYI for the future. So formalized G versus informal G. Now for H, H is the two fingers to the side and your thumb kind of tucked. When you do lexicalized signing, which is in the future, as you get more advanced, sometimes people use the thumb up with the H, especially when they're transitioning into the next letter. Now with I, you're going to have your pinky up and the rest of them kind of into a fist shape. With J, you're going to scoop inward. So for instance, if you are right-handed, you would scoop in this way. If you're left-handed, you would scoop the other direction, but inward also. With K, you're going to have the two, so let's make it easy. Make your V hand shape, push forward your middle finger and sit the thumb over your middle finger knuckle. And it will go forward. And a lot of students that I've had in the past, they flip it the wrong way. So just ensure that your middle finger is forward and your index is straight up. Awesome, great job. Moving on to L, which is pretty self-explanatory. And M is you're going to take the W hand shape and smush all three fingers and push them together under your thumb. For a lexicalized or deaf style of signing, a lot of people like to do the M pushed forward. So just FYI, this is a little more informal / deaf way versus the formal smushing it down M. N looks very similar. This time you're going to put two fingers over your thumb. Moving on to O, looks pretty self-explanatory. You don't need to turn it to the side. You can just go forward or somewhere in between, like, kind of in the middle of that spot. Make sure that you're comfortable and that you don't cause carpal tunnel syndrome, which can occur when you do not sign it correctly or do it too stiff and incorrect. Moving on to P. Now, we are familiar with K. You're going to make the same exact shape with the K, and now you're going to go down into P. Now, you're going to do the same thing with Q with using the G hand shape. You're going to do the G and then go down into the Q. So again, P, Q. Moving on to R. R is your middle finger behind your index. Some people, again, with lexicalized or deaf way, they like to do the R with the thumb sticking out to the side for less strain on your wrist, especially. S is a fist. We just went over this earlier with the A, the difference between A and S. Make sure you do those correct. It's just like a fist. Now T is the one finger going over your thumb. Moving on to U is the two fingers smushed together. V is like the shape. W just like the shape. And you're going to move into the X by using your one and bending it down. So now it is X. Next is Y. Sometimes as you sign a full word, your Y is not going to be up, it's going to be more downward. So you'll notice that as we get into the full spelled words. And lastly, Z. You're going to use your one hand shape and just kind of outline it the way you would write it. If you're left-handed, it would be in the opposite direction. So from inside to the out, down in, and out again. Now that we've learned the alphabet and we've learned a couple of words, let's go ahead and practice this so that you may use it for when you meet someone new who uses ASL. Let's go ahead and begin with saying, hi, my name is, yours is what, and nice to meet you. Here we go. Hi, me, name. Go ahead and fingerspell your name. Yours what, which means what's your name. And as they tell you their name, you can say, nice meeting you. And that concludes all of today's lessons. In episode 2, we will go over the specifics of how to use the alphabet when creating words. Thank you so much for your time and for watching, and I will see you next time.